So now that we know what packages are, let's go deeper into how they work. So for this tutorial, I'm going to create a class main. So let's create that one. Pencil button, okay, and we will have the basic class code. And I want you to pay attention to the extends movie clip and the import of flash display.movie clip. And let's remove this comment and save this into our projects folder in which the FLA is saved as well. Alright, I want you to pay attention to the class name and the name that's written in here. You notice that they are the same. The main in here, the main here, and the main.as here. It's because they all have to be the same. Let's save this. If you don't have the same name, you will get an error. And this one, the constructor, has the same name as the class because it's going to be run at runtime at the first moment this class is loaded. So you can change this name, but if you change it, it won't run. It won't start the class unless you call it from another class. But we'll get into that later. Alright, so for this tutorial I want to create a blank class instead of a movie clip based class. So go to File, New, and select Actionscript file. And say for name obj. Click OK. And let's tidy this up a little and remove the comment and save this with the same name as well. Alright, so right here we have a class, a very basic class for Actionscript. So you can see it says public class obj, and then it has a constructor called obj. You can change this name, but your class won't be activated unless you activate it from your class that's running it. We will see that in a second. Alright, so in my last tutorial of packages, I have shown you a demonstration in which I used the X property and the Y property and the rotation properties and the addChild function. These properties and functions and methods, they are all from the movie clip display package. So if I don't extend this for movie clip like this, extends movie clip, and I go in here and I write x is equal to 200, let's remove this, I will get an error. If I run this, it will give me an error because it won't know what x means. That's because x is a property of movie clip or a button. Simply put, a property of the display object. Alright, but in this case I do want to use the movie clip properties, but we will do that in a second. First, I want to show you something. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to say private var pose, and I'm going to data type this to int, and here I'm going to say pose is 0. Alright, so to give you a basic idea what extends movie clip means, extends movie clip, I want to show you this. So a movie clip, I want you to see what a movie clip is. A movie clip is simply a very large amount of code imported inside of your class. This simply means import every variable and function that's inside of the movie clip package and use it inside of this class. So me putting a private variable in here and defining it in here is actually the same thing as extending a movie clip. But a movie clip, of course, has many more functions and properties than one. So that's actually the basic use. If I don't import movie clip in here, and bear in mind this can be a button or any other class, even a custom made class. So if I don't import this, I won't be able to use the X and Y properties and many other functions that are available for movie clip. So if I don't want to use this, I'm gonna have to make those myself, and that's a lot of work. Alright, so another thing is the importing. To actually import to actually use movie clip, you need to import the display package. So let's say import flash.display.everything. So you could say in here, instead of the star, you can say movie clip, but it will only import the movie clip, and I don't want that. I also want to import everything else of display, and I'm going to import everything of events. So import flash.events.everything. Alright, so this one is for the event handling. So if you want to add a event listener, you're gonna need these. Alright, so I have saved this class, and I'm going to call it in here. I'm going to say private var obj is equal to obj, well, data type it to obj, and then they'll say obj is equal to new obj. Alright, so we already know that this line is calling this method. So if I trace something in here and I run the program, it will call this method, this function, and it will give me the trace. But what if I change this? What if I say call up, and I save this and I trace something in here? Call. Alright, so if I run this, my trace window is still empty. I won't get anything. But just to prove it to you that it works this way, I'm going to change this to obj, and I'm going to run it, and now as you can see, I have a trace of call. So in order to make this work the way you want it, so with call up, you're gonna need to say obj, so your variable name that's taking the properties of obj, dot call up, open and close parentheses. Remember, every method, every function is getting these parentheses behind it. So if you see this, you know it's a method or a function. And the difference between a method and a function is very small. This is a method, and this is a function. So the only difference is that this doesn't have any public or private in front of it, and this does. Alright. So now with this method, you can call the initialization of your class anytime you want, instead of calling it automatically at loadup. So if I run it now, you will see I have the trace.